welcome to Sports Strategies, a program that focuses on topical issues and developments in the business of sports. I'm Alf de Blassis. Thank you for joining us. Our subject on the program today is the expansion and renovation of this downtown Toronto waterfront stadium, BMO Field. Opened in 2007, it's the home of Toronto FC of Major League Soccer and the host stadium for Canada's national soccer teams. The facility is undergoing a 2-year redevelopment primarily to bring the seating capacity up to 30,000, but also to add other amenities including new executive suites, an improved audio-video system, and a canopy. To discuss the project in detail, we welcome our special guest. He is Bob Hunter, Chief Project Development Officer for Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. Bob, thanks so much for being with us today.
Great. Wonderful to be here, Alf.
Bob, let's begin with the scope of this project. The redevelopment is being done in 2 phases over the course of 2 years. The majority of it is being done during the soccer off-season. Can you explain some of the challenges you faced in mounting this project, first of all, at an active facility, and secondly, executing it over 2 separate construction cycles?
Well, it was obvious to us out of the gate with a very late approval, actually in the year, that we had a very short time frame between those 2 seasons to get the work done, and then that's what defined it as 2 phases versus completely shutting down. The team did not want to lose a year away from the building. So the first phase was really the retrofit and addition of seats, clubs, new suites, and a brand new grandstand. And then the second phase is a canopy over all of the stadium seating, and conversion now, which again was a late addition, of converting the stadium to accommodate CFL and the Toronto Argonauts as their new home.
Bob, the major addition to the stadium in phase 1 was the expansion of the seating capacity to about 8,400, effectively adding a second tier to the East Grandstand. But there were some other significant upgrades done in the first phase of redevelopment. Could you explain what those were?
Well, one of the items that we found through research that we had done is that we were sorely lacking in premium amenities. So we could accommodate more suites, and the marketplace could bear the purchase of those suites. We actually built 3 new clubs for membership, and so with the premium seat that you now have on the field, there's a club attached to it. So pre-game, mid-game, and post-game, and a very nice home or restaurant or club that you can actually go to from the team. So it was really the addition of those premium amenities, plus the addition of washrooms and additional concessions where we had suffered long lineups and long waits previously. So the addition of those points of sale and those washrooms actually makes for a much, much better fan experience.
Bob, phase 2 of the project involves the construction of a roof and a number of other upgrades. Could you elaborate on the second phase of the project? Because I understand some advanced work has already been done to prepare the facility for the roof structure.
Yes, and obviously that's the biggest piece. If you went down there today, you can see the assembly of 2 of the world's largest cranes. These cranes had to be shipped from Europe, actually, because they weren't available in North America. And so a combination of how the steel is built and how the canopy is built has caused us quite a challenge. But the reality is that the canopy in itself will house new lighting, new sound systems, and just provide, obviously, some amenity of our weather, our early spring and early fall of obviously a nicer enclosure and a much more comfortable space. But in addition to that, we're building new locker rooms for the Argos now and for CFL to accommodate CFL. As you can appreciate, 20 soccer players is much less impact than 55 very large football players. So the retrofit of the West Grandstand to accommodate that, as I say, the new Argos locker room. And then really it's just a matter of converting the stadium, the ability to convert the stadium in a big hurry between CFL and TFC.
This is a $120 million expansion project. MLSE has invested a substantial amount of the capital, but I understand other levels of government are also contributing to the project. Could you explain the funding model for the project and what type of financial commitment was made by all the parties involved?
Well, when we first started, the budget for the project was $105 million, which was approved and agreed to. Of that, MLSE were fronting $85 million. So the province was contributing 10, the city was contributing 10 towards the build. And in this element, versus when the stadium was initially built, the federal government did not participate. So we've got two levels of government. The budget has grown dramatically. The budget right now would be, when you add in the Argos, which that conversion is about 20 to 25 million, we're now up in the 140 to 145 range. And so, unfortunately, but fortunately for the governments, MLSE is covering any shortfalls. So there's no call on either levels of government to participate in anything above their initial contribution. Right. So our board has committed to step up, and our financial arrangements with Exhibition Place in the city has changed now that we've made that significant investment.
So, Bob, on the revenue side, when you factor in all the new amenities, what are some of the additional revenue streams that will be generated from this expansion?
Well, naturally, a multiple on our fan seating. So you've all of a sudden now got 8,500 more seats that you didn't have before. So that whole spending formula obviously adds up to a significant amount of revenue. Additional ticket revenue obviously goes with increased capacity. 15 new suites. 2 new party suites, 3 new clubs, and the addition of 10 Argo games is really the way that the cash flow happens on an annual basis. So that the Argos are a tenant in that property, in that building, as are even TFC, and both of them pay rent and a participation of different revenue streams. So it's pretty typical: parkings, concessions, merchandise, suite premium areas, all those sorts of things are what add up to the final revenue number each year.
Of course.
Sure.